called to the stage to give a speech as the newest board member. "Thank you, Clarissa," Russell said, stepping to the mic. He looked out at the sea of wealthy donors. "I got involved because I'm concerned about a really bad problem, a disgusting problem, and that is leprosy." The room went silent. Someone dropped a fork. I know, Russell continued, oblivious. "These gross people. We have to do something. We can't let them just fall apart." Jen buried her face in her hands. "Literacy, Russell, literacy." As the gala wound down, Jeff found himself in the hallway, staring at a hot dog cart. The scent of processed meat was like a siren song. He reached out, his hand trembling. "Don't do it, Jeff," Audrey said, appearing behind him. "You've come too far. You're almost at the finish line." Jeff looked at the hot dog. He looked at Audrey. "I'm an optimal male. Odd. I can do this." "I'm proud of you," she said. Jeff lowered his hand. "Good. Just one question. What do we do about the 7 I already ate when you were in the bathroom?" Audrey stared at him. "Let's just go home." "Jeff, in the end, the engagement rules remain the same. Life was messy, the TV would occasionally go out, and your partner would almost certainly embarrass you in front of a room full of strangers. But as the lights of the city twinkled outside their windows, both couples realized that average was actually a pretty good place to be." Novelization notes. This text expands the 1,300-line transcript into a more descriptive, narrative-driven experience, focusing on the character dynamics that made rules of engagement a staple of the sitcom genre. Rules of Engagement, a novelization of life, marriage, and the pursuit of the perfect waffle. Chapter 1, The Syrup Protocol. The morning sun over Manhattan always had a way of making the interior of the diner look like a staged set for a play about midlife complacency. The smell of burnt decaf and industrial-strength maple syrup hung heavy in the air, a scent that Jeff Bingham had come to associate with the bedrock of his existence. Jeff sat across from his wife, Audrey. They had been married for 12 years, a span of time that, in New York years, was equivalent to 3 lifetimes and several minor wars. Jeff was currently engaged in what he considered a delicate engineering project, his breakfast. "What are you doing?" Audrey asked, her voice tinged with that specific brand of weary curiosity that only long-term spouses possess. Jeff didn't look up. He was focused. "I like to fill up each little waffle hole with syrup. It's about distribution, Audrey. Consistency. If one hole is dry, the entire structural integrity of the bite is compromised." Audrey leaned back, watching the methodical drip of the plastic syrup dispenser. "Really? This is going to be happening for the rest of our lives. I have to watch you perform surgery on a frozen egg derivative every Tuesday." Jeff paused, the syrup string snapping. "Well, how do you do it? You just pour it on like a savage, like a woman who doesn't care about the future." Audrey gestured to his plate with a smirk. "Ha, You missed 3 holes on the left flank." Jeff grumbled, readjusting his aim. This was their rhythm. It wasn't Shakespearean, but it was theirs. It was the comfort of knowing exactly how the other person annoyed you and deciding that the annoyance was preferable to the silence of being alone. The door to the diner swung open, admitting a gust of chilly city air and the high energy presence of Adam Rhodes and Jennifer Morgan. Adam and Jennifer were the newly engaged, a species Jeff regarded with the same pitying fascination one might afford a deer walking into a bright, shiny headlight factory. "Hey, guys," Adam chirped, his face glowing with the unearned optimism of a man who hadn't yet realized that forever is a very long time. "To coffees to go, please." "Hey, Jeff, I'm heading downtown to a sports apparel warehouse. A buddy of mine works there, hooks me up with freebies. You got any requests?" Jeff's ears perked up. Free stuff was the only thing he liked more than a perfectly sauced waffle. "Yeah, I could use a new hood and sweatshirt. If it's gray and looks like I've given up, I'll take it." "You got it," Adam promised. Jennifer, ever the voice of reason in their duo, leaned over. "Might be slightly irregular. Jeff, remember the last t-shirt Adam got you? It gave you that weird rash." "We don't know it was the t-shirt," Jeff defended, stabbing a perfectly filled waffle square. "I was in several questionable hot tubs that week. It was a high-risk period for my skin." As Adam and Jennifer hurried off to their bright, shiny future, the booth next to Jeff was suddenly occupied by Russell Dunbar. Russell was the outlier of the group of wealthy, sharp-tongued bachelor whose primary hobbies included expensive suits, dodging commitment, and insulting Jeff's physique. "Hey, what's up, Kong?" Russell sneered, sliding into the seat. Jeff sighed. "Whatever it is that makes you feel safe enough to call me names like that, Russell, it's going to fail you one day." Chapter 2: The Pale Knight and the Playground Bully. Russell Dunbar did not have a type so much as he had a target audience. His life was a series of tactical maneuvers designed to ensure he never woke up next to the same person twice if he could help it. However, today, he looked uncharacteristically bothered. "I've got a question for you guys," Russell said, leaning in. "Do you think I'm pale?" Jeff didn't even hesitate. "Yes, you're almost translucent. If you stood in front of a white wall, you'd be a floating suit." Russell ignored the jab. "There's a school near the newsstand where I buy the Times." "You read the Post," Audrey corrected. "Can I just tell the story?" Russell snapped. "Anyway, there's this new teacher looking over recess. Gorgeous, leggy, intellectual. Everything I pretend to be interested in for 30 minutes. Today, we made eye contact. She gave me the look. You know the look. The look of someone wondering why a grown man is lurking near a playground," Jeff suggested. "The look of attraction," Russell insisted. "So I walk over to break the ice, and some jerk starts insulting me out of nowhere. Threw off my entire game." "Who was it?" Audrey asked, genuinely curious. Another teacher, a jealous principal. Russell looked down at his espresso. Nah, it was a punk.